Minister Ryan, regarding the budget and investments, the government has in the recent past invested in developments near the coast. In fact, in the months running up to the budget, you called for 1,200 homes to be built on Dublin Port, and that's despite your own party saying that, quote, floodwaters are ripping through the world's major cities and it's becoming ever clearer that climate breakdown is already here.
From extreme heat causing death and devastation
to floodwaters ripping through the world's major cities.
It's becoming ever clearer that climate breakdown is already here.
It's at our door, and it's the biggest global threat our planet has ever faced.
So is it wise to build hundreds of houses on an actual coastal port when we're being told that the climate breakdown and rising sea levels are already becoming a reality due to climate change?
It is. Obviously, we have to check and make sure that the sea level in that area is below what the likely increase is. I had a meeting with Dublin Port last week on this and other issues with some of the management. And just to summarise what we're looking to do, and as I said, the housing crisis is real. It is a priority for government. Public land. There are 3 sites. Pofield site, just beside the entrance to the port tunnel, if you know, just to the left of it. Other developments are happening around it. Dublin City Council, in my mind, made the wrong decision. They didn't rezone it back in the summer, but that could be rezoned and should be developed relatively quickly. Next site, a large site where most of the new cars in the state are stored. So they come into Dublin Port, they park there for whatever period of time before they go to the garage. But that's a question. Do we want these large areas as car parks within walking distance of O'Connell Street, within walking distance of the Lewis? In my mind, that should be housing, and we'll put the port. Dublin Port's really important. It's doing a really good job. It's a fantastic asset. But I don't think we should be using Dublin City Centre as the car park for new cars. We can put them in another location. Third location down by the East Point Business Park, there's a 13-year existing lease. We have to wait. But that, similarly, when that lease comes to an end, and it's that sort of strategic thinking, working with the Land Development Agency, this development in the next 5 years, next development in the next 10 years, give you time to reorganise the car parking, and then the next development in 15 years. So you can do a series of developments, you bring down the cost, you say development, modular development, just regular, bum, 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 and build up the city centre. You're right to raise the issue about sea level rise, because what's happening, the real story, others in this room will know who are very closely involved in it, like the biggest story of our time today is that the world weather systems are going off the charts. It's unbelievable. What temperatures today? It's in the 20s again for the 4th day in a row in October, is it? It's just people, we need to really be attentive to what's happening in the world. There's terrible things happening in Gaza, there's terrible things happening in Ukraine, but there's also terrible things happening to our weather systems at the moment that need us to be fast and to act quickly in our own country and elsewhere. And so you're right to raise that sea level issue.
But what would you say to somebody who argued that it was kind of disjointed or a lack of long-term thinking that we would be investing in housing developments which your party is telling us might be washed away within a matter of decades potentially if things go wrong?
So it's a very interesting job we have. I also had a very pleasant experience. I went to visit a Geological Survey of Ireland in Booterstown last week and spent a lot of time, 2 or 3 hours, reviewing all the work they're doing. Including that is an assessment of coastal protection. The areas that we have, I'm absolutely convinced that we can protect that Dublin Port core area. There are other areas along the coast that have more difficulties. That wasn't one of the areas where they see sea level rise causing a problem.